After 1983, when we organized the International Congress of Genetics, which was one of the largest gathering of geneticists, including all the Nobel Prize winners from India in the field of genetics. This is the first major conference which deals directly and indirectly with the application of principles of genetics to the improvement of natural resources. We have, fortunately, this year also is 150th anniversary of Mendel's laws of inheritance. Many people ask what is the value of such large conferences. I think the most important value is knowledge sharing. It helps you to save time, to buy time, to purchase time by learning from others' successes and mistakes. For example, today, India's experience is very much in demand. Sir, your Ministry of External Affairs has started in Afghanistan, at the Tarnak farm in Kandahar, a very large genetic garden of Afghanistan, because due to war and so on, Afghanistan lost a lot of its genetic resources. Today, the 400 acres have been given at Kandahar in the campus of the University of Agriculture, which also the Government of India helped to establish. Secondly, the rice straw is very much in the news today. The media are writing about the rice straw, whether it is responsible for the smog and so on. But the fact is, when we say agro-biodiversity, it is not only the grain or the tuber or the product which we eat, but also which others can eat. For example, a rice straw is a wonderful animal feed. With over 1 billion animals, farm animals in our country, the rice straw enriched with urea and molasses makes a perfect food. And it's being demonstrated at Naypyidaw in Myanmar under what is called a rice biopark. Therefore, there are many examples I can give where we can exchange experience, and in this hall, I'm sure, a lot of informal discussions are important. Agro-biodiversity, sir, is the very foundation for the Food Security Act of India, which is the only act in the world which gives a legal right to food. Legal right to food, how do you respect that legal right? It's only by breeding new varieties, new crops, and also by increasing more production. Fortunately, the government has enlarged the concept of food security to nutrition security, sir. We are as grateful to you. Nowadays, you talk about nutrition security. The enlargement of nutrition security has introduced other plants like millets, pulses, and so on in the PDS. I am particularly happy that our Prime Minister has also been emphasizing the importance of plants which we have, some of the unique plants of India. Neem, sir. I was so happy when you said neem-coated urea should be used, because there's a number of advantages. Apart from a pesticide value, the neem-coated urea, under conditions of climate change, it will slow release fertilizer. Ammonia volatilization is prevented. And neem is a wonderful crop. Same is the moringa. The whole world is now talking about moringa as a source of a whole series of nutrients. What is called a hidden hunger can be abolished. Therefore, biodiversity, agro-biodiversity, when it is in a holistic concept of looking at all parts of the plants, the biomass as a whole opens up absolutely new avenues. There is no reason at all why should we burn such valuable biodiversity as straw and so on. There are so many uses which are being demonstrated. Finally, sir, I have one request to you. You know, in the United Nations has the practice of naming years as this year is the International Year of Pulses. You have talked about pulses very much so. Last year was the International Year of Family Farming. Before that was quinoa and so on. So every year they name it a year. And I think, you know, agro-biodiversity is an underutilized resource, not recognized in the same way. Biodiversity Convention has attracted a lot of attention. But as I said, we are the only country which has got a farmers' rights and breeders' rights in one legislation. I would request you to take up with the UN 1 year in the coming decade, in the next few years, before the end of this decade, to be named as the International Year of Agro-Biodiversity. International Year of Agro-Biodiversity. I'm sure with these words, I exhausted my 4 minutes. I'll stop now. Thank you, sir. We are all anxious to hear you. We are grateful to you. As I again want to emphasize, plants like neem, trees like neem, casuarina, and moringa, these are very valuable. And I am particularly happy that you have chosen those plants for attention. Thank you.
जनतंत्र हमारे देश के संविधान की फाउंडेशन है. वो जनतंत्र बना रहे और किसी एक व्यक्ति विशेष या किसी एक इंस्टीट्यूशन के अंदर सारी पावर्स ना आए, इसके लिए संविधान के अंदर ढेर सारे चेक्स एंड बैलेंसेस हैं. बहुत सारे इंस्टीट्यूशंस हैं जो एक दूसरे के ऊपर चेक रखते हैं. खास तौर से हमारे संविधान के, हमारे जनतंत्र के 3 स्तंभ माने गए हैं: जुडिशरी, एग्जीक्यूटिव एंड लेजिस्लेचर. दे आर सपोज टू बी इंडिपेंडेंट ऑफ ईच अदर and at the same time interdependent on each other.